Hello everyone, and welcome to, I guess it's going to be my first unboxing on YouTube for a new series on Everyday Tarot. And I have come to the decision to do this because tarot is such a huge part of my life, and it has been since I was 13 or 14 years old. That's the earliest I can remember working with it. And for many, many years, it was kind of a secret thing for me. And over time, it became a more and more important thing for me. And I actually started sharing it publicly about 5 or 6 years ago in my art lessons on Patreon. And in the beginning, I lost people because of tarot, because there was this misconception about what tarot really is. And that's fine. I mean, our life philosophies may not mesh anyways, if that's something like that is going to steer you away from all that I have to offer. But it has become more and more normalized over the past decade, and I don't know, it's just a huge part of my life, and such an important tool in my life, and such a gentle companion in my life. And it's something that I want to share with everyone. I wish everyone had this in their life, right? And I mean, just to have a deck in your hands when things are a little bit more difficult in life is a comforting thing. To rifle cards in your hands and choose one and let the imagery and the artwork speak to you and help you have a conversation with your spirit, with yourself, right? It's just such a calming, beautiful thing. And it is also a tremendously helpful tool for my creative practice, for my business, for life in general. And because many friends know that I read tarot, I get phone calls and emails, hey, can you pull some cards for me? People are attracted to it once they start to understand it, right? And understand how beneficial and comforting a tool it can be in our life. I do not read tarot in a divinatory way or a fortune-telling way. I read tarot as a means for self-reflection and to help others with self-reflection, and to help myself have conversations with myself, to help me discover things that may not be right on the surface for me at that moment. And it almost always helps. There are times when I leave a reading still perplexed, for sure, but it almost always helps. And so I decided that, I've really been called to share it more and more. I started a beautiful tarot class in my Art and Spirit Studio Teachable School that's been very successful, and it grew into a monthly membership where we have monthly things to study about the tarot, and then we meet live on Zoom to practice and discuss it and to enrich our practices together. So this just seems like a natural step in the evolution of how I'm sharing this very special part of my life. So today, I'll get more into that in another video, but I received a deck, and I thought, what a great thing to do is just to unbox a deck. And I love to watch tarot unboxings by certain YouTube creators, and hopefully this one will be fun. So this deck is by author and illustrator Faina Lorah, artbyfaina.com. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I took this out of the box that it came in. It was very beautifully packaged with black tissue paper. It came with her business card, and then this is a note from the artist. So let's take a look. Thank you for choosing to care. You understand how important it is to support independent artists because it leads to a more vibrant and beautiful world. I totally agree. Your investment into the arts means so much to me. I am grateful that this work has found its way to you. Her signature, artbyfaina.com, Faina Lorah. So she's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's beautiful. What a beautiful card. And then she also included one of the cards from the deck, Nocturnal Garden Collection. Oh, maybe it's not from the deck, but it's beautiful. And then a bookmark. How nice. That's very nice. So she's right. A lot of tarot decks now, there are many, many hundreds, I mean, new ones all the time, are independently made and created by artists. And one of the reasons I collect them is for the art. The art is inspiring to me. So here's how the deck was packaged. There's my receipt. This deck was $35, which is very reasonable for an indie created tarot deck. So this deck is called Wild Whiskers. It is a spirit animal oracle. It's a 60 card deck by Faina Lorah. It is, it's got plastic wrap around it. I'm going to turn the camera off and remove that. So in many ways, when you buy a deck, whether it's a mass-produced deck, which was also created by an artist, it's just produced in a different way and is more widely available, or you purchase an indie deck directly from the artist, you are buying works of art. It's like a box of tiny paintings, right? Or works of art. And it's just so delightful. I mean, even this deck that I've had, this is a botanical tarot deck that it's an oracle deck that I use as a significator in reading sometimes. I'm very much into botanical world. I love herbs and plants, and this is just a great deck for me, but these paintings and drawings and illustrations are exquisite. And so it is like purchasing a tiny box of art. It's wonderful. So this deck, I purchased this deck because I love animal oracles, and I have a deck that I really want to use this with, and it's called the Intuitive Night Goddess. I don't think I have it. Do I have it? I don't have it here, but that's okay. This is about this deck. So Wild Whiskers, Spirit Animal Oracle, 60 cards. On the back it says, it's a really nice box. Wild Whiskers deck, go on a journey of discovery with this beautiful deck of watercolor paintings by award-winning artist Faina Lorah. Draw cards daily for inspiration and spiritual insight. Each card includes the symbolic words and an incantation for summoning spirit animal energy. Use these cards during spell casting and divination for a magical boost. The Wild Whiskers deck includes 60 cards with gorgeous watercolor images and an instructional booklet. Okay. I hope you don't mind me sipping my coffee. It's so delicious. I hope you have something yummy to drink too. So let's take a look. I really love decks, first of all, that come in small boxes like this. I also like small decks. I have small hands. They're chubby, but they're small, right? And so it's really hard for me to shuffle big decks and to manipulate them. It doesn't keep me from buying them if it's artwork that I really love. But when I see that the deck is this size and in a nice compact box, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So Wild Whiskers Oracle deck. So it's got a small white book, which is nice. A lot of times oracle cards don't need a lot. So you've got just a little bit, and they're in alphabetical order, so they're easy to find. So if you pull a card and you might want a little bit more information, it's there. One of the reasons I really liked this deck is because it had keywords on the card, which is great, because then you don't have to use the guidebook so much, because as I said, these are more like significator cards for me, and just like an addition to a tarot reading. We'll keep it here and we'll see, but look at the beautiful backs. The human heart, very heart-shaped, and flowers. It's just very simple and beautiful. So we're going to start, and I'm just going to do a flip through of the deck so you can see, and I'm going to zoom in so the cards are a little bigger for you. So the first one is Adaptable Armadillo. It says the name, and I know that they're all alliteration, which is kind of fun. Could be hokey, but it seemed kind of fun when I was looking through the cards. And it has 3 keywords, and then it has a phrase. So much information on this card that you don't need to use the guidebook, but if you feel like you need more, it's there. Okay, and it's just a simple one. I love that with an oracle deck. Absolutely love it, because most of the time I'm using it in between 2 or 3 tarot cards just to give a little bit more information to the reading. Okay, so Adaptable Armadillo: security, toughness, boundaries. Cautious creature of the forest, lend me your armor for self-defense. Here's the Barging Badger: determination, focus, advancement. I'm not going to read everything, but I just want to give you a flavor of how this works. Beautiful butterfly, benevolent bull. The artwork and the illustrations are really clear and beautiful. They have a nice vibe to them. Brave bat, brawny bear, busy beaver, calm chameleon, versatility, camouflage, and agility. Careful creature cloaked in colors, bless my heart with peace and patience. They have an incantation sort of feel to them, which is lovely and calming. Cautious crab, clever crow, crafty crocodile. I just think they're really fun. Curious cat, daring dragonfly, expression, joy, understanding. Glittering and flittering fairy of light, show me the way to my deepest desires. Delicate dove, delightful deer, so sweet. Devoted dog, loyal and faithful friend of man, protect and guide me between the worlds. Dignified dragon, earnest elephant, elegant eagle, fabulous flamingo, fearless frog. So you can see how the artwork is just lovely. And there's different botanicals on the pages, and I have a feeling you could read into that as well if you know a lot about them. Graceful giraffe, rounded goat. These, this will also be fun for my granddaughter as well. She will love these. We do cards together. Happy hedgehog, hasty hummingbird, honorable horse, humble honeybee, jolly jellyfish, fluid form floating in the sea, release my doubt and let my light shine. There are different kinds of decks, different kinds of art, different moods of decks, and I'll do a video about that eventually too, that you reach for in different circumstances. You get to know your decks, and you know which ones are going to give you the right feeling for that specific moment. Kind koala, loyal llama, and I see this one as very calming and sweet, not too heavy. Lofty lion, loving lobster, magical moon. Majestic moose, mischievous monkey, modest mouse. Mystical moth, noble narwhal, observant octopus. So you're really running the spectrum here of emotions and qualities. Optimistic otter, orderly owl, mastery, logic, discernment, solitary watcher of the night, give me a sacred vision in the moonlight. Playful penguin, plucky possum, Prosperous pig. That's fun. Proud peacock. Resourceful rabbit. Roguish raccoon. Rowdy rooster. Sassy skunk. Sensitive sloth. Tranquility, tolerance, diplomacy. Peaceful spirit of the trees, teach me stillness in the winds of change. Serene swan. Serpent sage. Spunky squirrel. Stealthy shark. Tenacious tiger. Tranquil turtle. Warrior wolf. Wise walrus. And wondrous whale. Introspection, depth, transcendence, ancient song, and soul of the sea awaken the cosmic awareness within. So let's just pull one. I am not a good shuffler. I've never been able to shuffle cards, and that doesn't matter. I just, when I first get a deck like this, I'll sit here and let them rifle through my hands like this for 5 or 10 minutes while I'm doing, maybe reading something or just sitting with them and sort of meditating, and sort of bring some of my touch to them, see how they feel in my hands, enjoy the beautiful art on the back. And I'll do that for 5 or 10 minutes just to really kind of shuffle them up. And these are oracle cards. Doesn't matter how well they're shuffled. But I always try to do this before any reading, just kind of rifle them a bit. And then my thing is sometimes I just split the deck and take the top card. But often, there's a couple decks I can't do this with because I've used them so much that they always fall to the same cards because the cards are a little bit bent or something. But I just hold them like this, and I just let them open and let them tilt, and wherever it falls, that's the card that I pick. The first card we read. So let's just see what how much more the guidebook tells us. Adaptable armadillo. An armored creature who symbolizes security and toughness. Invoke the armadillo when you need to set some boundaries. So that's a really helpful card for me, and I can see where if I pulled this card for some readings I've done recently, it would have been very helpful to emphasize that aspect. So it doesn't tell you a whole lot. Let's just pick one more and see what happens. Prosperous pig, easy to find because they are alphabetized. An ancient symbol of fortune and fertility, the pig represents regeneration and can offer good luck and abundance to those who call upon its energy. So regeneration, good luck, abundance, sacred symbol of fortune and fertility, bless me with opportunity for prosperity. Lovely. All right, so I'm just going to show you really quickly how it might look if you use it in a reading. I'm going to grab that other deck that I thought it would work really well with. So this is the Intuitive Night Goddess, and I love this deck. It's really beautiful. It's a spin on the Rider-Waite-Smith system. If you don't know what that is, we'll talk about that too sometime. But it's a really lovely deck, and I'm just going to pull one card from it, or two cards actually, and then show you how I would use it with an oracle. So this is not my typical, I teach a system of tarot called Voice, Lens, Invitation, and it's specifically created for creatives, for artists. And that is what my class on Teachable is about, called Tarot for the Creative Spirit. But I don't always use that system, and I also teach other ways to read in the class as well. But a lot of times what I do when I have a specific question, I start with an oracle card and then I flip 2 or 3 more tarot cards, all right? Normally with this deck, I use this one. It's called Dirt Gems. It's a plant oracle deck and guidebook. And it works really well with this deck. I'll show you that as well. But This is more plant botanical based, so plant wisdom. This is animal wisdom. Okay, and so they're different, and I thought it would be nice to have a choice between the two. But dirt gems, I'll do a video on this sometime too. I love this deck. It's so colorful and beautiful, and the guidebook is fantastic. So you'll see that it works really well with this deck. And those things matter to me, how they sort of play off each other, the artwork and the colors and things like that. But let's see what happens here. So I'm going to pick one of these cards. So one of the Wild Whiskers. So this is more of an animal, right? Animal-based deck, except for that Moonlight card. And let's see what we find. So the Mystical Moth. And I usually put that right in the center. All right. And then 2 or 3 tarot cards. So start there. So the Mystical Moth is here. And then I'll flip, I'll pull 2. We'll see how 2 feels. And if sometimes I need a third one, I'll pick a third one. So the 2 of Pentacles, which is very similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith. It's just a different vibe, right? A different kind of artwork. It makes you feel different. Oh, there's the Ace of Pentacles right next to each other. So I think I'll pull one more. The 2 of Wands. Okay. So for me, don't they look beautiful together? I knew they would. I knew they would. Well, first of all, they're black, but the colors are just harmonious, I think. I really like them. So the moth says, spirituality, psychic ability, and passion, shimmering maiden of the moon, uncover the arcane knowledge I seek. So this automatically tells me that whatever my question was, the cards, what they have to offer me, I should look through the lens of my intuition and my passion for whatever it is the subject of my reading is about. All right. And then these cards would be like a story about it and invite me into conversation. So for instance, the 2 of Pentacles, how am I balancing things? How are things balancing, for me? Is there flow to what I'm doing? Is there something that's impeding me or blocking me from flow? Is this a new idea? Have I worked enough with just sort of the gestational period of it, and that is my, the groundedness of the idea. Have I really dug into it enough? So there's different messages that can happen depending on the question, and this card invites me to remember the intuitive side of things, right? And maybe I need to do a little bit more digging, research or even meditation work, and invite sort of my inner voice to speak. So that's sort of how I work with them together. I'm not going to get into specific readings in this video because it's just an unboxing, but I really like them together, and I knew I would. So that's how I work with Oracle. Sometimes, if you don't have but a minute, you can just, if you've got something that's on your mind, or even if you just want a little comfort, or even if you want just a little bit of inspiration for a project that you're working on. Maybe I need to make a painting. Maybe I need to make a birthday card for someone, and I'm just at a loss that day and I don't know what to do. Sometimes I'll just pull one oracle card and it'll give me ideas. This one is a dragon. Maybe I paint a dragon for my grandson's birthday card, right? Or it might just give me more things to think about in that moment. So you can use oracle cards on their own as well, and I do often. So I hope this was helpful. It's just, I really wanted to share this deck and sort of introduce this new series on my YouTube channel. I don't know how often I'll do it. I'm hoping for once a month, just like I hope for once a month on my right left. And every now and then I still share watercolor and dandelion lessons on YouTube. I make them public. I have a Patreon, so I mostly am focused on that because I don't have enough followers or desire to push the YouTube to make enough money to really pour out a lot of content here. But I try. I try to do that every now and then as well. But these two things are just sort of things that I'm passionate about, and I just want to share. I want to share. And if you want to go further with me, you can always look at my Art and Spirit Studio School. But yeah, just something new. All right, everyone. Again, this lovely, lovely deck that I received today is the Wild Whiskers Spirit Animal Oracle by Faina Lorah. And I'm very happy with it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to work with. All right, take care, and hopefully I will see you again soon. And please, please, please leave comments, thoughts about this, anything you really would like to see me do or talk about. I am all ears. All right, thank you. Take care.